Hello, everyone. I plan to explain the first exam in this short video and all the exams that I conduct in my classes will be online. And if you look at the syllabus, you find some instruction. And I'm going to give you some direction to complete your first exam. So online exam, you can do it because I'm sure you have done it in the past. And in terms of chapters that you will be tested, I teach different sections, actually four classes, but two sections of the same class, like Psych 1105. If you're in critical thinking class, you will be tested in chapter 1 to 3. And for Introduction to Psychotherapy, you will be tested on 115, 2 and 3. For Psych 3390, whether you are online or in person, you will be tested on chapter 1 through 4. Okay, and all the exams will be available tomorrow. That's February 26th at noon. And exam will be available for 36 hours. That's my promise in the syllabus. So it will be available at noon, and you have the following day, end of the day. So the exam will remain available on 27th midnight. And at that point, the exam will be removed and you cannot access anymore. That gives you plenty time. If you have any other commitment, you can finish, but make sure you plan for at least 2 hour time to prepare and start exam and complete it. I don't recommend taking exam like let's say 10 p.m. on 27th because you will be a little anxious because you have limited time. So make sure you plan that accordingly. The exam will account it, all of the classes will be for 50 points. You can expect up to 65, and I'm gonna make sure it's the maximum. I mean, it varies, but I'm not gonna exceed 65 questions. Majority of the question will be scenario based, and they are most of them are multiple choice. That is one way to test in a large classes. And I do include true, false. Sometimes I have multiple options. That means you have to answer more than one correct answers. Those are very rare, and matching, that's also rare, sometimes depending on the topic. But there will be at least a couple essay questions, which is the short writing questions that you have learned in these chapters. And the exam will run, once you click open, it will run for 1 hour, 15 minutes. That's the exam duration, but you have the availability that's different for 36 hours. And you can test the lockdown browser using the practice quiz available under quizzes in your Canvas. And I'm going to show you how to install, and most of you already know. I can show you one more time so you can feel comfortable, and anything comes up, just send me an email. I'll try my best to respond to your emails right away. So that's about the exam one, and pretty much general rule for all of my classes. So you don't have, if you are in person classes, you don't have to be on campus. You can take the exam anywhere, but you're also welcome to use the classroom that we have lectures in. And as I've been mentioning, if you use the lecture classroom, please respect other individuals if you see them taking the exam as well. These are some general rules. When you are preparing for exam, it's not a specific topic. We are I'm supposed to test you in pretty much everything covered. The assigned reading, the lectures, activity, any other materials that I shared. So those materials should be reviewed and prepared for the exam. And make sure if you are in online class, make sure you cover all the recorded lectures, you download the PowerPoint, review your materials as well. And the assigned reading should be already done. And I always tell my students, you ask for a study guide or study outline. PowerPoint is the best because I use them to guide myself how to develop my exam. So I look at the topics that I shared with you in PowerPoint and also talked about them either in video lectures or in-person lectures, and I use them to create questions. And most of the time, I have lectured 80% of the exam questions already, and some questions come from assigned reading. That means I may not have talked in detail, but you were asked to read them in the chapters assigned, right? So make sure you review those materials. And when you read the exam, take the exam once you're ready. Some student asked me, can we have notebook or your student notes? I cannot control what kind of materials you have around you. That's up to you. And I've been telling this in in-person classes. You don't want the stack of your PowerPoint slide printed, but the textbook and any of your handout, all the materials, that will be overwhelming. This is why. You have 65 questions, you have 1 hour, 15 minutes. If you do the math, you have 1 minute, little over 1 minute for each question. Now, you can only answer question once. So you see one question at a time, you choose your right answer, you click next. The question you answer will be locked. That means you cannot go back and change the answer. And you have 65 questions to go. So those are the two things I control in online class exams. That means you have to plan your time accordingly. Cannot spend, let's say, 5 minutes, that's already a lot, trying to find answer for one question. These are the information you already learned through lecture, through activity, through reading. So you should be very familiar with the concept. And when you read the scenario, you should be able to apply them as you go. So there will be that's a limitation. You can answer once, and once you move on to next question, it will be locked. And you have number of questions, you have limited time. So having a lot of notes will be overwhelming. And I have seen in the past students miss so many questions because they were probably going over too many materials and trying to find the right answer for a few questions, then miss the most of them. So that doesn't work. I suggest have maybe a short handwriting, a page or two that will help you to kind of cue what you were trying to remember rather than having all the materials by you. And that's up to you. I don't control that part. That's each student can decide how much distraction, to me, those are distraction, do you want, or you want to be prepared by reading and reviewing materials. When you see the question, it will come to you because you already studied them in advance, okay? And when you read the question, take time to read carefully because every question has a clue for the right answer, and you find that and avoid these kind of trick answers like a partial answer, long answer, or all options are correct answer. They're not always correct. Partial answers are never correct. Long answers are not always correct. All option answers are not always correct. So those are sometimes people feel tempted to choose, but if you read the question carefully and you understood, then you find the right answer easily. And the other part is never leave any question blank, even you don't know. So, okay, because if it is multiple choice, you are still 25% likely to get your guess correct. So if you think that you don't know, you don't remember, and it's too much time consuming, just choose one you feel the best with your guessing, and then move on to the next question. Okay. And some makeup exams. Now, if you don't plan to ask for makeup exam, you don't need to watch this part. But there are some rules. I want you to review the syllabus, what kind of excuses I accept, and I have very specific instruction. If you miss out the exam within that 36 hours, that's quite a long time. And I copied this from the syllabus. You have to communicate with me within 24 hours after the exam is made available, right? And if you did not communicate within that time and you communicate after 24 hours, so no makeup exam will be offered 12 hours after the original deadline. So you're way past the timeline and you thought like, oh, I missed the exam and it's already maybe a day past. I cannot give you makeup exam. And you will need to provide documentation for any makeup exams. And I have already had few students reached out and their family emergency and life events, life happens. I'm willing to work with you, but again, I hope you don't need to use this part of the instruction, but if you are about to miss the exam for whatever reason, make sure you read them and communicate with me in advance to establish a good, plan for how to approach, how to solve that problem. And that should be the last slide. Yeah, the next is the question, but I don't think you will have questions for me. But I can quickly show you um, how to, let me see if I'm still sharing. Or was I not sharing? Okay, let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna share again. Okay, I'm sharing. So if you have not done this yet, you can go to Canvas, and this is for logged on browser. If you know already, you don't need to watch it. But if you don't, here's how you do. go to the quizzes. Every class has that tab opened, and I have a practice quiz for each class. This will help you to test Lockdown Browser as many times as you need it. So I'm going to go to student view. That's the only way I can show you. And this is what you see, right? And you click on the take the quiz. Once you click that link, it asks you to now download the browser. You click that link and you will download the browser and it will be saved in somewhere on the file. You go to the download files, you double click the file and it says you're gonna run this software and let's see how far I can go. Okay, just click OK, continue, accept, continue, and okay. There's there's so many questions, so you might need to. So you will need admin login. That means the computer should be yours, not someone else, or belong to library. If that is the case, then you have to find a laptop that you can use someone else's, admin credentials. Okay, once you hit the password, it should install, and it says whatever you need to keep it or move it. Now, a lot of students, what they did was they installed the Lockdown browser and they continue to use Safari or Google Chrome and repeat the process again. Now, Lockdown browser is a browser. So you have to find a browser. It's an app. So you find the app. This actually might not work. The best thing to do is restart your computer and find the app. I don't want to restart because I'm recording, right? So I'm gonna notification center window is detected, exit browser. So it doesn't allow me to do anything when other apps are running. So I have to restart. Let's see, I'll try one more time. Um, should run. Okay, so it's running now. It says you're gonna uh, block other stuff. This will, lock every screen you have, and it will put me, I don't know if I'm recording, but choose Canvas prod, not Blackboard, and continue. Click continue. And some block list applications are running. That means some of the apps are running in the background. So I cannot open Lockdown browser. So I'm going to get out of there. So I hope I was able to show you up to that point, right? Up to that point, that means you install the browser, you restart your computer, open the browser, and log into your Canvas through the browser, not Safari, not Google Chrome or Edge. Use the browser to log on to your Canvas, My Coyote, Canvas, go to the quiz, and from there, you should be able to take the quiz. And if you have any other app running in the background, you might want to shut them down and restart your computer, not let them run and open the browser, so on. Okay, so I hope this is helpful and I wish you all best of luck. It's not that challenging. We already learned about the materials. You already know the questions, things that you've learned. And I look forward to seeing you in class next week. You don't have any class session if you're in person, and those who are online, yeah, the module will be available until the exam is released. So that's probably end of today. You will see the module is removed. You're getting ready for the exam. And if anything comes up, please send me an email. I'll keep an eye for emails and I'll try to respond to them as soon as they come to my inbox. And please use my Coyote email address. And that helps me. And also use the title or the subject of the email as your class ID, Psych 1105, Psych 3386, so on. Okay, everyone, thank you for watching this short video and I'll see you later. Have a wonderful day and good luck with the exam and other exams too.